This is our latest Asian adventure. My name is Steve, and with my lovely wife Jane, we spent 3 weeks in Asia in February of 2019. We have been to Asia many times, both on vacation and for business, and this year we wanted to return to some places we have been before, but also add some new experiences. We had everything set up for us by Exo Travel, which I would highly recommend for any trip to Asia, and this was our 4th trip they prepared for us. We were greeted by car and driver, along with a tour guide who was very knowledgeable and spoke excellent English. We traveled to Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam, staying in 11 hotels, including a night train and a boat. Everything went off like clockwork. So we start in Bangkok, taking the hotel shuttle boat to the high-end Icon Siam shopping mall. There was an incredible light and water show both day and night. This mall was so upscale it not only had an Apple store but sold luxury cars with the electric Porsche Taycan sports car on display. The next day our guide picked us up and took us to Wat Arun across the Chao Phraya River. It is a 79-meter high pagoda built in a style similar to Angkor Wat. We then transferred to a private long-tail boat traveling along the modest and wealthy homes as well as temples. North of Bangkok is the old capital of Ayutthaya, which features a Muslim quarter, which is the only place in Thailand to see the making of the unusual local candy floss roti. Then we are off to northern Thailand in Chiang Rai, stopped to learn more about the different culture of the north, or Lana, at a local temple.
I was not expecting it to be so deep.
And visit Sapruak, the site where the borders of Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos converge, or the infamous Golden Triangle. We drove to Chiang Rai and stopped for dinner at a country restaurant and art gallery. Jane posed for their Facebook page and helped them advertise their wonderful local cuisine. We wandered the night market of Chiang Rai, listening to the local musicians at the large outdoor restaurants in the center, then rushed to hear the famous clock tower that puts on a beautiful light show a few times a night. The next day we drove north of Chiang Mai to visit the Canta Elephant Sanctuary. We fed and bathed these rescue elephants and had plenty of opportunities to see them up close. Jane loved the elephants, and I think they loved her too.
I'm sorry.
This was something I always wanted to do. These elephants are massive and yet so gentle. I feel like I made a connection with them.
We all pitched in to fix their favorite food with some medicine mixed in, and then balled it up and shouted to get them to open their mouth and eat it.
They know you've got more. It's funny. Bun. Bun.
We ended the evening sitting in on the Theravada Buddhist evening prayers. We returned to Luang Prabang, Laos for the 2nd time since we had fallen in love with the preserved colonial buildings, the night market, and the incredible temples. It's a UNESCO World Heritage City. The Hotel Satri used to be a home to the first president of Laos, and although it wasn't fancy, it was stylish and unique, and our favorite hotel of the trip. This is the walk to breakfast. We wandered about on our own for a few days and just toured the local temples and walked the streets and, of course, the night market. And then we took a water taxi to explore the temples on the other side of the Mekong that are not as well known, and we were pretty much on our own. We then began our journey south towards Vang Vieng on our way to Vientiane. We got there just in time to take a boat cruise at sunset on the Nam Song River, surrounded by spectacular limestone karsts. The next morning, we were off to Vientiane for the temples and the night market.
This was the high point of my trip, dancing for an hour outside in 94-degree heat by the banks of the Mekong as the sun set. Unforgettable. It doesn't get any better than that.
And on to Hanoi, where we took the Vespa food tour for the third time. Once was in Ho Chi Minh City.
Still stuff going for sale at late.
And we started at a unique location where we drank local rice wine while watching the night train to Sapa fly by just inches away, the same train that we would take in a few days. And then we visited a series of small, hidden, local places like the best bun cha in Hanoi.
Yeah.
And we ended the night in a jazz club. And we would do it a fourth time, no question. Then we came across the International Women's Day celebration on a huge outdoor stage. And then saw the famous Vietnamese water puppets. And headed out to visit some of the open food markets. This is what it takes sometimes to cross the street.
So what's the orange? The orange
The
stuff.
orange. Okay, so turmeric and fermented rice. Deep fried spring rolls. So heat and then fermented. So
Just cutting all the eyes off. Yeah.
Walking through the back alleys with our guide was a peek into a hidden world. It is about a 2.5-hour drive to Halong Bay, known for its thousands of limestone karsts sticking straight up out of the water. We stayed in the presidential cabin and did Tai Chi on the top deck in the morning as the fog lifted. The sun rose over by Tulong Bay and we cruised silently through the karsts. After 2 days of kayaking to empty beaches, caves, and a floating village, we were off to the north on the night train to Sapa. We were rocked to sleep in the small but cozy cabin and woke a little after dawn to visit the huge market at the border town of Lao Cai. All the surrounding hill-type groups gather once a week to sell a wide variety of fabrics, clothes, and animals, including water buffaloes.
Ai mua tiếp cao su nào? Ai mua chổi trong gà, chổi quét trần nhà, chổi quét vào nhà đây.
Our way home was blocked by a huge truck going around an unfinished bridge on a muddy mountain road, and it was the only road to the hotel. We watched how ingenious the Vietnamese could be to solve such a huge problem. And one last night at the Topaz Eco Lodge, where they had native dancers at sunset before the long journey back to San Francisco. This video was edited using Final Cut Pro 10. You can find more photos here at thestevebays.com.